Greg Hardy goes out. He fights Ben Sosoli from Australia. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to hear it from you guys. I'm going to take you in a whole bunch of different directions. Before any, oh, Chael, you conspiracy theory. No, I'm not. Hear me out on this, all right? Let's just have a little bit of fun. Let's just be some fans. Let's just be some people talking. But let's be wide-minded people. Now, in the fight, quite frankly, I was very impressed with Hardy. Every time Hardy has fought, I thought he started out very rough. You guys, I'm sure, would agree. But every time he's fought, there's been a significant improvement that you can identify. You can put your finger right on it and go, okay, look what he's doing tonight. That's what he's improved on. And when you've seen a young athlete, Greg Hardy's very young in this sport, right? Very inexperienced in the sport. One thing that Hardy was doing so well tonight that was so visible was his feints. He was feinting the hands. He was feinting the shoulders. I mean, he looked like Tommy Hearns out there. Then he was throwing this straight right. So powerful, so fast. I couldn't believe how fast he was for 265 pounds. He was also doing those same feints, but with his hips. He would shift his hips. That's really hard to do. If you guys ever go watch that, it probably looks easy on TV. Jump up in front of a mirror and just try it sometime. Try to do one of those flinches. It's really hard. You got to work on it. Try to do that with your hips particularly. One of those, it's like Machida. Machida does that so well, always keeping guys guessing. It's not natural. It has to be worked on. I could just tell, okay, this guy's in the gym. This guy's working hard. You guys might remember his very first fight. He was tired as could be. This fight, he's pushing right through. So you're seeing improvements. That's the point I'm trying to make on Hardy. Now, let's get into the fun. So, in between the second round and the third round, Hardy's corner comes in, and Hardy calls for the inhaler. The corner says it's USADA approved. He says that to a commission official that's there. And then says, it's in my pocket. And then takes the inhaler out and gives it to Greg Hardy, who uses the inhaler. That is against the rules to the clearest and the highest of levels. Not so fast. Okay, hold on. Is it against? Yes. Is it clearly against? Yes. Does it matter in the least if it's USADA approved? No, of course not. But I want to put this in perspective for you guys. I know this. This is clear to me, but I did the sport for 22 years. You guys may not know that. You may go, well, wait a minute. If it's not a problem with USADA, I thought he could take it. No, not even close. By example, you cannot have Gatorade. Not only can you not have Gatorade during the fight, you can't have Gatorade as soon as you enter the building. The second you walk into the locker room, the only thing you are allowed to put in your body is water. Oh, and by the way, a water that they, meaning the commission, hands you. Now, they'll give you as many as you want. You want to drink 100 waters, commission will buy you 100 water bottles, but they must hand it to you. They will literally break the seal. They will witness that seal be. This is just how sensitive it is. That's how I'm trying to prove this to you guys. Gatorade has nothing to do with USADA either. You can't have it during the fight. Period. The end. Oxygen. Literally an oxygen tank. Of course it's not banned by USADA. You can't have it during the fight. So for Hardy to take the inhaler during the fight in between rounds is so clearly and unobjectively against the rules. Now, hold on. Story's not over. He asked the commissioner, can I do this? The commissioner told him yes. Greg Hardy has a reasonable right to rely on that information, including if that information is wrong. He has a reasonable right to expect it to be accurate information and then to rely on it, which is what he did. That only means, okay, that he cannot be disciplined. There will not be a hearing. There will not be a revocation of his license. There will not be a monetary disciplinary action, in my opinion. It does not mean that his opponent can't look at it and say a commission official gave bad information which allowed an illegal advantage to my opponent, which it did. Right? You would not take an inhaler unless an inhaler would help you. You're not taking an inhaler to get a defect. You're getting it to get an effect. Okay, great. I don't think we're ever going to argue about that, but just to share with you, before you have any knuckleheads that like to come out and go, that's not even a performance enhancer. You always hear guys saying that. That's not even a performance. Why would you do it? Of course it's a performance enhancer. Let's just concede to that. Excuse me. So the opponent could, and I suspect would, and I would even go further to say should, file an appeal. The question becomes who's at fault. In many parts, the question becomes who's at fault. You have a commission who is the ultimate say. Matter of fact, the only say. It's not USADA, it's certainly not the promotion, it's the commission. You would have a claim against that commission. Now, what would your claim be for? Accidentally giving misinformation? People are allowed to be wrong. Having a call that was to your detriment? Okay, there's a way to fix that. You call it a no contest. A monetary loss because of an illegal action that was approved by an official? Oh, okay, they could write you a check. There's ways to work this out, right? It's not the end of the world for anybody. But it was a mistake. And it was an advantage, illegal, given to one fighter on accident who took a reasonable step, an appropriate and a responsible step, which was to ask the authoritative body, can I do this prior to use? That's a real sticky spot. His opponent, I'm quite sure the way this gets overturned, it's called a no contest and everybody walks away. But the story's to be continued.
He's been running these streets for years, and he's still here, and so is fear. Undisputed, never lost a round. Bodies hit the ground when the bad guy comes to town. American gangster, this man will put a hurt on you. You'll be crying for your mama by the time he's through. You better believe that your life's in danger when you see the American gangster.